For centuries, critics of the Bible argued that King David never existed. They claimed he was only a legendary figure, a hero from ancient scripture, with no historical proof. But in 1993, archaeologists working in northern Israel uncovered a broken stone that would challenge that assumption. Buried beneath the ruins of the ancient city of Tel Dan was an inscription written nearly 3,000 years ago, and within its carved lines were two remarkable words: House of David. The discovery was made during excavations at Tel Dan, an ancient city located near the northern border of modern Israel. Archaeologists uncovered fragments of a basalt stone monument. The inscription was written in Aramaic, the language commonly used across the ancient Near East. Scholars quickly realized this was not an Israelite monument. Instead, it had been written by an enemy king celebrating a military victory. This made the discovery even more significant, because in the text, the king claimed he had defeated the king of Israel and the king of the house of David. For historians, this was a groundbreaking discovery. Before this inscription was found, some scholars believed that the kingdom of David described in the Bible was exaggerated or possibly fictional. But the Tel Dan Stele provided the first extra-biblical reference to the dynasty of David. In other words, a foreign king acknowledged the existence of a royal line known as the House of David. According to the Bible, David ruled Israel around 1000 BC. He established Jerusalem as the capital and founded a royal dynasty that would rule for generations. The Tel Dan inscription appears to date from the 9th century BC, roughly 150 years after David's reign. This suggests that the dynasty he founded was still well known throughout the region. Even Israel's enemies recognized the ruling line as belonging to the House of David. Most scholars believe the monument was commissioned by Hazael, the king of Aram Damascus. Hazael was a powerful ruler who fought several wars against the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. The inscription likely commemorates one of those victories. Ancient kings often erected monuments like this to celebrate their conquests. Yet, in boasting of his victories, the king unintentionally preserved an important historical detail: the name of David's royal house. Today, the fragments of the Tel Dan Stele are preserved in the Israel Museum. Though broken and incomplete, the inscription remains one of the most important archaeological discoveries related to the Bible. It provides independent historical evidence that a ruling dynasty known as the House of David existed in ancient Israel. Archaeology cannot prove every event described in the project Bible, but discoveries like the Tel Dan Stele remind us that the world of the Bible was real. Cities mentioned in Scripture have been uncovered. Ancient inscriptions have confirmed the names of kings, and sometimes, buried beneath centuries of dust and stone, history leaves behind a message waiting to be rediscovered. Careful examination is crucial for accurately translating the text and deciphering its meaning. Such detailed study also aids in precisely dating the inscription, providing historical context. When the fragments of the Tel Dan Stele were first discovered in 1993 and 1994, archaeologists immediately realized the importance of the inscription. Epigraphers carefully examined the ancient Aramaic script carved into the basalt stone. The letters were weathered and broken, but the phrase could still be reconstructed with confidence. The Stele's discovery is crucial for understanding the historical context of ancient Israel. Scholars engage in detailed research within a library setting, examining ancient texts and historical records. The primary objective is to contextualize a newly discovered inscription from the Iron Age Levant. This process involves cross-referencing the inscription with existing knowledge and documented evidence. Such comparative analysis is crucial for understanding the inscription's historical and cultural significance. Contextualization helps to illuminate the broader implications of the artifact within its historical period. The scene transports us to the 9th century BC, showcasing the ancient city gates of Dan. This setting provides a historical context for the period, illustrating daily life. The urban environment features dusty streets, characteristic of ancient settlements. Stone houses line the thoroughfares, reflecting typical architectural styles of that era. This scene depicts an Iron Age Israelite settlement, showcasing its architectural style and daily life. The settlement features small stone homes, characteristic of the period, with flat mud roofs. A courtyard within the settlement is visible, where domestic animals like goats are kept. Women are engaged in the essential daily task of grinding grain, a common activity for sustenance. These elements collectively illustrate the typical domestic and communal activities of the era. The scene depicts an early settlement, a fortified ridge, representing nascent Jerusalem. This settlement is characterized by its strategic location on a ridge, offering natural defense. The fortifications indicate a community focused on protection and survival in ancient times. This early stage predates the grand expansion and development of the future capital city. It illustrates the humble beginnings of a location destined for historical significance. The early Israelite monarchy featured dignified yet unostentatious royal settings. King David's throne room exemplifies this, reflecting the period's architectural style. The room was constructed primarily of stone, providing a solid and enduring foundation. Cedar beams were incorporated, adding structural support and a touch of natural elegance. Woven tapestries adorned the walls, contributing to the room's modest yet royal aesthetic. The concept of enduring rule is central to understanding royal lineages. A genealogical scroll visually represents the establishment of a dynasty. This scroll unfurls, symbolizing the beginning of David's royal line. It illustrates the succession of rulers through multiple generations. Each segment on the scroll denotes a new generation in the royal family. The continuous lineage signifies the enduring nature of David's rule. The Aramean kingdom flourished during the 9th century BC. Its geographical and cultural setting was distinct within the ancient Near East. This period marks a significant era for the Aramean people and their influence. Understanding this historical context is crucial for interpreting artifacts from the region. The steel's origin is directly linked to this specific time and place. Most scholars today agree that the inscription clearly reads Beit Dawud, meaning House of David. The Tel Dan Stele was likely commissioned by an Aramean king, possibly Hazael of Damascus. In the inscription, the king boasts of military victories over the kings of Israel and Judah. It is a political monument created by an enemy. And yet, even an enemy king acknowledged the dynasty of David. His attire includes a long wool robe with geometric trim and a thick beard. This depiction aligns with the typical appearance of 9th century BC Levantine royalty. Stone carvers meticulously chisel inscriptions into large basalt slabs. Their tools are simple, reflecting Iron Age technology and craftsmanship. The carving technique is precise, ensuring deep and lasting marks on the stone. This ancient method demonstrates skilled artistry and material understanding. This close-up reveals a basalt stele, an ancient stone monument. Deeply carved into its surface are intricate ancient Aramaic letters. The stele exhibits a weathered stone texture, indicative of its considerable age. The distinct characteristics of early Aramaic script are clearly visible. These features collectively confirm the artifact's authenticity and historical significance. Such steles provide invaluable insights into ancient civilizations and languages. For decades, some historians argued that King David was merely a legendary figure, perhaps a symbolic hero created by later writers. They claimed there was no evidence outside the Bible that David had ever existed. But the Tel Dan Stele changed the conversation. Here was a foreign king writing about Judah's rulers, referring directly to the dynasty founded by David. This inscription did not prove every detail of the biblical narrative, but it confirmed something significant: that the name of David and his royal house was known across the ancient Near East. Number 1. The event marks a military triumph over the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. A stele is erected to commemorate this victory, serving as a lasting monument. This act solidifies the king's power and ensures his legacy for future generations. The territories of ancient Israel and Judah faced significant military challenges. An Aramean king launched a devastating military campaign against these lands. This campaign resulted in the defeat and occupation of various regions. The landscape itself bears witness to the impact of this conquest. Such historical events provide crucial context for understanding ancient inscriptions. The stele's message of conquest is directly linked to these territorial defeats. An animated map illustrates the geopolitical landscape of the ancient Near East. It highlights the territories of the Aramean kingdom, Israel, and Judah. The map depicts their geographical positions during the 9th century BC. This visualization reveals the complex interactions and conflicts that shaped the region. Standing before the fragments of the Tel Dan Stele today, visitors can see the rough surface of the basalt stone, chipped and worn by centuries. The Tel Dan Stele is an ancient inscription of significant historical and linguistic value. A detailed replica allows for comprehensive study, overcoming limitations of the original artifact. The original stele is fragmented, making a complete understanding of its message challenging. The words are faint, the letters incomplete. Replicas provide an intact representation, enabling clearer examination of the full inscription. This aids researchers in deciphering the complete text and its historical context. Such replicas are crucial tools for archaeological and biblical scholarship. Experts meticulously analyze ancient inscriptions to decipher historical meanings. A key focus is the linguistic nuances of phrases like House of David found on steles. This phrase is crucial for understanding ancient Near Eastern political structures. Linguistic analysis confirms House of David refers to a dynastic lineage, but their meaning has echoed across history. It signifies a ruling family or royal house, not a general location or individual. This interpretation provides vital insights into historical power and succession. Archaeological excavation involves meticulous recovery of artifacts from historical sites. At a modern excavation site, archaeologists carefully work to preserve the integrity of discoveries. Fragmented steles are gently lifted, showcasing the delicate nature of the work. Specialized tools, such as measuring instruments and dust brushes, are essential for precision. This methodical approach underscores the scientific rigor inherent in archaeological practice. Archaeological fieldwork relies on specialized tools for uncovering and preserving ancient artifacts. These tools are essential for the meticulous excavation process at archaeological sites. Common equipment includes trowels for careful digging, brushes for cleaning, and sieves for sifting soil. Each tool serves a specific purpose in minimizing damage to fragile historical remains. Their use highlights the practical and methodical aspects of archaeological investigation. The sun descends over the ancient archaeological site of Tel Dan. Golden light bathes the historic ruins, highlighting their enduring structures. In the quiet remains of this broken monument, a voice from the ancient world still speaks. And in that voice appears a name that has shaped the history of Israel for millennia. Long shadows stretch across the landscape, emphasizing the passage of time. This scene evokes a profound sense of timelessness and historical continuity. Archaeology does not replace the biblical record, but at times it illuminates it. And in the ruins of Tel Dan, carved into a fragment of ancient stone, we find a simple yet powerful testimony that the house of David was remembered far beyond the pages of Scripture. The landscape offers a panoramic view, showcasing its historical and geographical significance. Its strategic location made it a crucial settlement throughout various historical periods. The site's natural environment, including the Dan River, contributed to its early habitation and defense. Archaeology cannot prove every event described in the Bible, but discoveries like the Tel Dan Stele remind us that the world of the Bible was real. These findings underscore the enduring strategic importance of the Tel Dan region. Cities mentioned in Scripture have been uncovered, and sometimes, buried beneath centuries of dust and stone, history leaves behind a message waiting to be rediscovered. Ancient inscriptions have confirmed the names of kings. The Tel Dan Stele is only a fragment of a larger monument, but the words carved into that ancient stone still echo across history. Because long before modern scholars debated the existence of David, his name was already written into the record of the ancient world. Even his enemies remembered the dynasty known as the House of David. This is the first extra-biblical archaeological evidence confirming the existence of King David. Empires rise and fall, cities crumble, and kings disappear into history. Yet the name of David endured, not only in the Bible, but etched into stone for the world to find. Follow for more discoveries.